Feel the faucets and get it. Woo! Yeah.
It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, back to riches. It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, just back to riches. It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, back to riches. It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, just back to riches. Got my call from the R2R. Farmers going up, Brody, check the chart. In the loots, buying all these plots. Thomas G and Mike got the chat on lock. With a drip and pause. Got these dogs and pigeons, farm me, I'm ready to score. Got me a bag of the rich and hard, I think I need more. Group got me in the wave, now I'm swimming the shore. Now I'm up to the core. It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, back to riches. It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, just back to riches. It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, back to riches. It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, just back to riches.
All right. Yeah, dog. Welcome to R2R, Wreck to Riches live stream number 64. It's Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the daily live stream where we talk about our cryptocurrencies, our Titanx plays, leverage plays, everything Titanx, everything crypto, everything DeFi. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to smash the like button, drop a comment. Always remember, not a financial advisor, for damn sure not a professional. This is cryptocurrency. You could lose it all. And don't ever allow a social media influencer out there on any social media platform to influence you when it comes to cryptocurrency. These things go to zero. All right? If you're on X, retweet, comment in the comment section, right? Like, retweet, Titanx, build on Titanx, DragonX, everything Titanx. Let's go. All right. Today we're going to discuss about the Titanx Buy N Burns being on all-time low. Just give my thoughts. Maybe we can collaborate some thoughts together and see what would be the solution. Because I feel like this is a problem that's surfacing that a lot of people hadn't been thinking about. And it would be nice to know if there is a solution, because it could get a lot worse with fees. It could get a lot worse. So right now, let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin. $89,109 Bitcoin. I did a survey this morning too on X. Links in the description if you don't follow me on X, where I had people take a vote. Did we just experience a bull trap? And so far, 31 votes are in with 22 hours left. 54% of people, 54.8% of people say no. And 45.2% of people have said yes. So it's interesting to take little surveys like that, see what people are feeling, what they're thinking. Bitcoin dipped. Look at this smooth recovery. Nice little dart up. It can do a nice little dart back down. I don't know where we go from here. Right now, I'm worried about where my bags are heaviest, right? Pulse Chain and Titanx. We'll take a look at the Titanx price point right now, and then we'll take a look at the Buy N Burns and what's going on with that. Yeah, we went below 6 zeros and a 5 last night. I mean, I was seeing some comments out there too, people saying, "Oh, Titanx is the next Zen," and you see a lot of things out there that can be damaging to the eyes and things you don't want to see or hear. But it is what it is. You're going to see it all. Let's get to the comments really quick here. Ryan Torres, yeah, dog, welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here. Mr. Green, LFG to the moon, all. Let's go. Intro, dog. I'm glad you like the intro. Hex Clips, dog. What's up? Relax Vibes, Titanx Army LFG. Let's get it, dog, from Jesse Johnson. So, what do I mean about the Buy N Burns at all-time lows? Well, yeah, man, they are. And the reason being, and I'm going to pull up, we'll take a look. We'll start off with Lotus, right? Just one of the Buy N Burn just one of the platforms that uses Titanx as an input token, has a Buy N Burn, right? And you can trigger it, right? Accumulated periods 3. It was sitting at 16 just like 10 minutes ago. So people are not calling this function as actively as it is. Like traditionally, they're like clockwork. They're set to every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it may be, and people are triggering them. So let's take a look at how many times this buy and burn smart contract has been called, in the last 24 hours, and talk about why that could be a problem and why it's something that's good for discussion. So 22 minutes ago was called. Prior to that, it was 2 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours ago, 15 hours ago. So there's big gaps that are happening, right? And we're going to see, as we look at these numbers, we're going to see how this is the same thing across the board with all the buy and burns right now. So let's go to Hyper. We'll take a look at Hyper's buy and burn, right? Go into the Hyper contract, and you'll see 1 ETH is callable every 10 minutes. You just click here, you call the trigger, right? When it's been 10 minutes, and it can be called. So it's been called already. You'll see this. But let's see how often it's being called. Is it being called every 10 minutes right now? Or is there some lag in between, right? And you can see they have slowed down, right? 20 minutes ago, this one was right on time, 10 minutes. Then there's an hour gap, 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. Definitely not being called every 10 minutes as design, right? This gets adjusted by a human being. That buy and burn for Hyper, whoever it is, we don't know if it's Jake, who he says we don't know who it is, right? We'll respect that. 1 ETH every 10 minutes. And it's not happening every 10 minutes because how much it cost. Okay, the cost to pull to click these is not profitable. Meaning, normally when somebody clicks on these triggers, they get $20 in rewards, and you either break even or you make a little bit. In these cases, it's like costing $50 for a $20 reward. So people are not doing that, right? So I wonder what the adjustment is so that we could hit these targets, every 10 minutes, for example, on Hyper. Would you need to set it to like 5 ETH and burn more ETH at a time, and understanding the gas fees are high? But we are excited for Titanx right now because we understand it's a leverage on Ethereum, and Ethereum's finally moving. But if Ethereum 2x is in price, the gas is ridiculous. I remember doing DeFi when Ethereum last hit its all-time high, which we're not even near that yet. Gas fees were insane, okay? And the network gets clogged because meme coin volume is where all the volume's at. And it literally is really hard to get transactions to go through without paying an extra tip to the miners to accept your transaction. At the time, that's how it was. So now it's going to be in a sense where now that it's proof of stake, the gas fees are still high and all that good stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see how much more it's going to cost us and how much more out of profit it would be to call these functions. And yesterday somebody said maybe the Genesis wallet should pay, because I don't know right now if users even want and can afford to do a swap, right? It's getting rough out there to even do a swap. And then when you're down on the price of Titanx, when prices are low like this, you don't want to be spending ETH on swapping and selling. Like I on a couple wallets yesterday, I left my positions on Titanx, but my large positions that I have in my big wallets for Titanx and DragonX, like anything below 20,000, I'll swap out and get out of this, right? At a loss, not care. But my large holdings like Titanx and DragonX that I put a lot of money into, I'm stuck, right? I'm not going to get out. Too big to get out. Move the price too much slippage. So now is not the right time. And that's coming from a big wallet, where on that wallet, I'm a different user. On the wallets, I'm kind of degen. I don't carry that much ETH to pay fees. So I understand where someone who has $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 in their wallet how they're not going to be not only triggering these buy and burns, but doing anything on Ethereum. And it's yet to come yet. You've just seen the tip of the iceberg when it comes to gas fees. Just to tell you, I don't know how many people in here have been here several cycles. The last bull run for Ethereum gas fees was absolutely bonkers. It was unheard of. Let's look at did we look at Hydra already? I believe, did we look at Hydra? We'll look at Hydra really quick. This buy and burn function every 33 minutes. So we'll see how that's looking. And the Hydra buy and burn, last time it was called 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago. And this function here could be called by a user every 33 minutes. So it's not being tapped into because it's not profitable for you to claim this reward versus the gas fee you would pay, right? I can show you really quick here to share the tab what I mean. So sharing this tab here on the wallet, $26 gas fee for a plus 26 million Titanx, it's only $13.88. So, you know, people aren't willing to do that, but it's only going to get worse. So let me go back to my screen here. I'm full screen. It's only going to get worse with gas fees, right? So now that we're dealing with that being the worst case scenario, as those continue to slow down, and maybe we go like 10, 15 hours without them being triggered because it's so expensive when ETH does go up. The big narrative has been you don't have enough Titanx, because we saw with the smart contracts, the machines that they refer to, the buy and burns that are buying, how much supply they're soaking up. I'm starting to feel like we don't have enough Ethereum. We don't have enough ETH to be calling these to trigger these buy and burns. And I don't know how out of control it's going to get, you know? So one is going to think that, you know, this will continue to be an issue, and all that ETH is going to be sitting there unless somebody's willing to pay it, or whenever it is profitable or at least break even, then they'll trigger it. But it seems to only be every so often, not on time, not on target on time. So what I'm looking at here today is, since all the buy and burns are slowing down, and it's something I've been discussing for weeks here, we're starting to see how new users aren't really there yet. And they're not coming right now, especially during the hype of a bull market. Now, when we have like a parabolic altcoin season, will they come in? Because we, as people that have been in the Titanx ecosystem, yeah, we are going to depend on people to be buying Titanx, especially if the buy and burns aren't being triggered because gas fees are too high. We'll rely heavily on new users to come in and buy your bags at a premium. That's how markets work. You sell your bag at a premium because someone's willing to buy it all the way up until the tippity top. That includes Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes to $200,000, somebody's buying that top. Someone's got to for you to exit, right? That's the game. And let me get to some questions really quick here. What's up, my homie? Crank it when ETH hits 4K. Yeah, I think that's a solution, right? Crank the buy and burn, right? For any of these smart contracts, crank it up, right? Like, make it a reasonable approach where you know it's going to be expensive. So make it like 5 ETH every, 5 hours or something. I don't know. It might have, and it's still going to cost a lot of gas, and you're going to make sure you need to use, map protection and all that. And it's just interesting to see this unfold, because we haven't seen what gas fees can really do. You haven't seen anything yet. Hyper buy and burn doing 450K buy pressure per day. Yeah, it could do that, but right now it's not doing anything like on the level that it could be every 10 minutes. That's the issue that we're having because of gas fees, because users got to call this function. So what is the solution? I think people are throwing, and I want to hear what you have to say. People are saying that up the amount of Ethereum. I've heard people ask if the Genesis wallet can do it. because this isn't happening every 10 minutes. Obviously, you can see here, like it's set to do. So I don't know at what point people just take the loss and call it for the greater good. But the gas fees are going to continue to be an issue with this matter. So what do we do? I don't know. Does somebody got a smart contract to use this to use a utility in the case of doing this for us? I don't know how they would do it, but Element 280 needs help. Does it? Let's take a look. We got cleanup on aisle 5. What's going on with Element 280? Needs help. Oh man, 24-hour volume is $12,000 with the Dragon X pair. I mean, that must be its biggest pair, biggest volume, I would imagine. I don't know. Let me see how it looks with Element paired with Titanx. See if they got a little bit more volume. $14,000 volume. We've been talking about this too. I mean, as much as we love developers and they're friendly, not everything that they make is going to be gold. And I don't know if that's the turnout of what's happening. But narratives are going to shift in the ecosystem through the community. You'll see. Because before it's like, you don't have enough Titanx, right? You don't have enough Titanx. And I was like, yeah, we don't. But let me show you what's happened and how it's affecting the price of things. If you go back to a live stream I did, live stream episode 57, 13 days ago. Look at 6,260. Hold on, let me share it on screen. Episode 57. You can see here 41 trillion Titanx. And shortly after that, it was on its way to 39. It was at 40 trillion, right? And then people were able to claim stakes like shortly after. That was November 1st. So now if we go to the Titanx stats at this very moment, right, we're at 54 trillion. Okay, so we've added back, quite a bit in addition to, more unstakes happening and more miners can still be claimed. So with all that becoming liquid, 25% is liquid, the buy and burn slowing down, no sign of new users coming in to buy these dips. Like these dips right here, I feel like me personally, let me go back to the price. I did like a piss poor job onboarding new users for the amount of time I put into it. And I put that on me. If you're somebody who does content and you feel that way, this is how I feel. Because I don't see a lot of people coming in to seeing this opportunity. It could be an opportunity of a lifetime. It could be. It could be. I believe it could be. There's a possibility. But there's not people barging in to buy these dips, right? They're buying meme tokens. They're out there chasing peanuts, literally chasing peanut, to come and buy these bags at a cheaper price to get new users to do that. The proof's in the pudding there, that we're not getting that volume, which typically coins to succeed always have like constant traffic. And the volume we have shared between humans and smart contracts, I just wish, like, I don't know how I could have done a better job bringing in more people that would be like inspired to buy that dip. Like, dude, we're on the verge of a bull market and Titanx is on sale, So maybe I just didn't deliver it, on my end. And collectively, as a lot of us that talk about it daily, I don't know. I feel some certain way about that as far as like, what could I have done better? Did I not do enough on-swap, on-camera action? Explain? Probably. It's actually better the buy and burn gets used less. Yeah, you know what? I like that they get used less to preserve it for later, but I think a lot of people are on the other side arguing online, especially, that now's the time to burn because the prices are low. So you burn more, you get more bang for your buck, right? But the problem is if the reason why it's low right now due to fees, it's going to be even lower when ETH goes up. So I guess timing has to be in our favor, and somehow gas fees had to drastically drop and align with the events that are going to take place, like where the big unstakes are done. Even though Jake said only 90%, only people that unstaked are selling 10% of their bags, which he said he saw on chain. I'm not going to, say anything in regards to that. If he said it, he said it. You guys are all going to follow, everything he says. So we'll bank on that. R2R, what is your opinion on Morpheus? Let's go take a look at Morpheus. And I'll tell you, not so much my opinion. I think it's a good leverage play on Dragon X, definitely. But this smart contract here is showing you exactly what we're talking about today because of gas fees. This buy and burn function can be called every 30 minutes, but it's stacking 8, right? It stacks. So instead of just skipping and you just not calling it, and it doesn't really technically doesn't slow down, because the rest are, when they're not being used, like let's say every 10 minutes, then it's like a missed opportunity to buy and burn, right? This smart contract, every 30 minutes, if it's not called, it gets accumulated. So you'll see it's $1,200 of 8 periods accumulated that will be bought in one shot, right? This was the best way to design it. That way, so when somebody finally does find it efficient and cheap enough, or break even, or a little bit of profit, maybe lose a little bit of profit to call this function, it has 8 cycles of buying to trigger when that gets called. So I like that they did that. That to me is thinking ahead of time as far as this situation being a problem, right? So now instead of just skipping these periods and it just being not used, it's stacking up. I think that was a really, really good thing that they did on their end. Duke of Booze, what's going on? Pat, good morning. R2R, good morning. Viper's insane, going to overtake Vault. Viper 2, let's go take a look, because Viper right now is just, you see the price. People are going to have to wait to see, what happens as far as the price turnaround. The ecosystem's not doing too great. But this particular smart contract, right, I'll connect the wallet here, has a bunch of buy and burn triggers. This one every 5 minutes, right, gets called. It has accumulated periods, so it could accumulate, and then it has these ones that could be called, right? So if I want to trigger this one, I'll show you what the cost would be. Maybe the cost is efficient right now. It actually is profitable right now to call this one. So I'm going to call it. I get $26 in Viper to call this feature right now, and it only cost me $19 in gas. So I'm going to try and get that right now. So you have to be perfect. All right. You can sit here all day and really, let me call this one real quick and see if it goes through. So the gas fee for this one was $19. I get $26 in Viper. Let's see if that goes through. Transaction. Boom. So that was completed. That's cool. I'll bring it up on DBank so you guys can see that one right there actually worked out. And I don't know if it's because of the way the contract functions. Some cost less, some cost more to call. I don't know. But that one right there was profitable. You look at live on camera, we caught an opportunity, right? So let me bring up my screen really quick and show you what I wanted to show you. Okay. So here on this wallet, I paid an $18.12 gas fee and got $26.23 in Viper. Cool. Right? So you got to look for that. Across the board, it hasn't been like that for all of the other smart contracts. So we'll kind of just hover around here and see if it gives me another one, right? See if it gives me another one. That was a good, we'll lightning strike twice, because everywhere else, it's not doable, right? Let's see. You invest at the bottom, not at the top. Good time to scoop Titanx. Yeah. It is a good time, but I don't see a lot of people coming in to do that. That's why I feel like I failed. What's up? Live stream 64. Wow, what's going on? Yeah, you know what? I even hit up Jake to join. Jake hasn't responded. I don't even know if he's been on Twitter or anything like that. Nothing. Crickets. Crickets. Man, maybe good time to degen and load up on cheap Titanx ink for the farms. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Wrecked Ponzi. All right. The Genesis should call it at least every hour. That's an idea. That's an idea. Call Vitalik. Right now I don't care. I need as much Titanx as possible for Shogun. You know, across the board, when you look at the content creators, I didn't see anybody really hyped up about it, demonstrating it, talking about it. I used it once, no, twice on 2 wallets. So people are using it. We'll take a look really quick. I want to see if this buy and burn is going to pay me some money. Let's see. Let me refresh this real quick. This one that's on screen and go into the Nexus. So I'm going to call this one. Is it showing up on screen? No, now it's not profitable. $27 for $22 in vault. Okay. So that was an opportunity. You know, it's long gone, but it's all right. It's all right. You know, I don't know if I'll be able to call them on any other ones and make some money, but it's kind of rare, you know, that I catch it. Funny that I did on camera though. Everybody here should be hitting the pound the like button, bro. I really hope Titanx can do 10,000x like Hex did in the past. There's a truth behind that. It's not going to hit 10,000x from this price. From this price, everything's measured from the absolute bottom. So you have to go to the chart, right, and measure from the absolute bottom, which was, you don't really have to go that far back, to be honest with you, because this all took place, what was it, August? It bounced off the bottom, and it skyrocketed. It started to take off. So let's take the lowest point when this started to happen in early August. Right, we'll come back here just a little bit, and I believe I talked about this before. I think it was 6 zeros and like a 1 or something like that, right? So I believe, let's just call it 6 zeros and I believe 1 6, right? So your 10,000x from there would be 2 zeros and a 1 6. That maybe next cycle. If you can hold long enough. I predicted from the bottom that I'm saying is 6 zeros and a 1 6, right? I'm predicting a 500x, guys, which would be 4 zeros and an 8 is on the table. I don't know. We'll see. Sharing wrong screen. What screen am I supposed to be on? Okay, I think that was in the past. I'm behind on questions. Viper's a good buy. Compounding, buy and burn, buy the red candles. It hurts, but it's the best way. Agreed. Viper will be good. Yeah, once the market turns around for Titanx, it should be. Right? It should be. Is it advisable to sell my Pulse tokens for Titanx now? Titanx is cheap. That's something you got to make. You know, I'm not a financial advisor, man. Everyone's different. If you feel it, you feel it, right? Smash some likes. I need to upgrade Money Tree. Everyone still has money to buy these bottoms. Let's take a look at Mike Dean's premium package. Let's take a look at what's coming up for Titanx, because I just showed you, like, we've added so much more supply. It felt really good to see Titanx get down to 40 trillion, right? And then the staking comes out, and you're like, oh no, we're at 54 trillion again. So we still are pushing up that boulder. But let's look at how many more stakes are going to come, you know, down the road, miners. You know, you need to know this stuff. So this is the last big month, 1.18 trillion from miners, 160 billion next month. You know, when we have these months, I sure hope the gas fees are not like double and triple, and no one, and the Genesis wallet or some really nice person is going to have to bite the bullet and burn the tokens, or else it's just going to be a ton of ETH sitting there, not being triggered. So I don't want that to happen. Hopefully there's things change with the gas. But let's see how much more of the staking tokens are going to be coming out. So we do got a big amount coming out soon. I know from what day are we in Titanx? We're day 384, right? So we're day 384 in Titanx. Contract day, yeah. We got a ways to go, man. Just a little bit. Day 396 is 2.48 trillion. So unstakeable pretty much this month is 8.49 trillion with an additional 1.1, like 1.1 trillion or so from miners. So we're going to add a lot to this. Then we can start tackling it down with people buying and the smart contracts buying. So that's my concern, knowing that we're going to be adding more to this total, and then the buy and burns are slowing down because of gas fees. I'm hoping there's a solution. This is something I wanted to talk about with Jake on camera too. This is why questions like this, I want to be on stream to ask him, because I would sure love to know what he thinks. And I can honestly say that I wouldn't imagine it being a problem if the Genesis wallet wanted to contribute to do that, like somebody suggested once per hour. But we are around this narrative that we don't have enough Titanx. Now I'm feeling that I don't have enough gas to call these functions. We're under the impression that we're losing to the machines, but the machines are controlled by human beings. It's not like the machines will buy, but they have the machine. It's man versus machine, right? Is what they're saying. That's the narrative. The machine is controlled by a human being who tells it how often it can buy, not how often it will buy. So it has one person setting it, for example, with Hyper, a human being has set it to buy 1 ETH every 10 minutes. Now another human being needs to trigger it to buy, right? One adjusts when it can and one triggers when it does. So if humans are not triggering it because it's too expensive, and the humans versus machine narrative turns out that people are no longer wanting to go into Titanx protocols because of the price, we do have an uphill battle to continue going forward. I think in a perfect world, gas is cheap and these work like clockwork. New users come in every day, right? The machines soak up the supply and we take off, right? That's in a perfect universe, perfect scenario. But things don't work out perfect. This is structured to do that, but you have to rely on human behavior to actually make these functions work and take action every 10 minutes. But if that human being refuses to call the function because it's not profitable and it costs them money versus breaking even, which I think that'd be reasonable to break even or take a small loss, maybe. I don't think anyone wants to take a small loss. Then the human reaction here is not triggering these, and it slows down your buy pressure versus your sell pressure. And in a bull market, people want to be selling and chasing green candles. So you will see, what you want to see is people selling their tokens to chase the Titanx green candle. And we get to sell our bags at a premium. That's what we're going to hope for. And then in addition to that, we have the smart contracts buying and accelerating that price. That's the scenario we want to be in. On top of that, all these protocols succeeding, but I'm starting to see a lot of protocols dying off, okay, which we were expecting. I was expecting. I'm seeing it in real time. Would it be smart to put liquidity on Titanx farms for Dragon X Hydra pair on Hydra's day 88? That's a good idea, because I don't think on day 88 for Hydra, I'm going to want to sell, because day 88 for me is going to be the 15th. This is going to be the biggest inflation date, right? for the ones I did here. So yeah, I could park it or leave it liquid. It depends because going into the farm costs gas fees to collect, compound, and all that. It's becoming very expensive due to gas fees. So I might just claim it and let it sit is the best thing I could do, to be honest with you. But everyone has different reasons. Now, if I'm on like a bigger wallet and I don't care, then that's one thing. But on like my public wallets where I'm degenning, like I don't want to be sending ETH to those wallets. I don't ever send ETH to those wallets from my main wallets because I don't want to dox my wallet. So I generate money on there for years to not have to do that. Even when I'm at a loss, I'll figure out what other chains to get, money from. My best 3 projects: Bot, ORX, Inferno, and E280. Inferno, E280. So somebody said earlier Inferno is not looking too good for them. E280 and then Inferno. When I look at Inferno, I think you did great if you got in at the beginning and you had that parabolic run. Well, I don't know what's going on now. I would have to ask a user, hey, are you really happy with this investment? Because from the outside, I only see a lot of building and like no volume for this token. 24 hours, 75K. They're associated with Flux, 12K. If you asked me from just looking at the chart and the activity here, I'd have to look at the actual protocols. They don't look to be what you would call flourishing. I don't know. Let's look at their buy and burn here. Right? If I look at their buy and burn, and I'll go look at it on the UI as well. 1 hour ago, 5 hours, 8 hours ago. Just want to look at the buy and burn real quick, and let me go see what's on the UI. I don't normally visit these protocols. Let's see. This one has $14,000 of Titanx for the buy and burn. Burn today 13,000. Left to burn today 1,358. Accumulated intervals 12. It's skipped 12 periods to be able to buy and burn, probably due to gas, obviously. So yeah, it has auctions, stake, rewards. I don't hear anybody talking about it. I actually never see anybody talk about Flux. When they first came out, it was like, we're interviewing the Flux team, and I see the founders a lot on stream, but I don't see anybody talking about Flux. Maybe very few here and there. So I don't know much. If it was doing really well, I'm pretty sure I would be like getting FOMO. Who has FOMO for Flux? Who right now is FOMOing into Flux and Inferno and Blaze? Any of those? Anybody excited about those projects? Anybody know if they're doing well? Only thing I got to look at for me to know, because I'm not experiencing it in real time, let's go to the stat page. Then I start to pick. Like, I know Blaze hasn't done much. And let's take a look at AlienX. What is going on? The AlienX is at the bottom of the food chain there. Let's take a look here. AlienX reminded me of Optimex, but who knows? Titanx deposited. I think this is like a weekly deposit. Let's see. 7 billion. Is that total? Total for the entire cycle? Overview of the minting cycle. I can't tell you. Buy and burn, 57,000. Doesn't have a lot of buy and burn, that's for sure, but the price has gone down. Oh, you can't buy and burn until like a certain period of time. There's cycles, 20 hours. It's like a slow roll system. They have these cycle periods. I'm not entirely sure. Doesn't look like a lot of money in the buy and burn. 88,000 to buy and burn Inferno. That's a good amount. Who's excited about AlienX? I do see it get posted in chat sometimes. I do see AlienX people out there. That's for sure. But I don't know. I don't know. If I look at let me look at the price of AlienX really quick. Man, so as we just came across, we just saw on Viper, all the smart contracts are skipping buy and burn moments. You know, they're intervals, they're accumulating, and some are skipping because they can't accumulate. $46,000 in volume, $26,000 in liquidity. Yikes. I mean, as low liquidity, it can go up and go right back down. Yeah, this means there's not a lot of users. 484 wallet holders. I mean, I didn't even need to go that deep into it to know. I just know because it's here. That's the truth. Because it's here. That's the simple fact to put it, you know. I think yeah, there's gonna be winners and losers, that's for sure. I don't know if that's a loser or if it's gonna do well. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it. If I'm being completely honest, but I want to be nice and respectful. But just from observing from a bird's eye view, it doesn't look good. Doesn't look appealing, right? Let's see. I got Blaze getting ETH payouts, holding 4,000 Blaze payouts are consistent like previous Dragon X stakes. Okay, perfect. So there is somebody happy with Blaze on a grand scale. I don't know if there's more people like you or it's a sleeping giant. I don't know. It's been a while since I've gone there. A lot of shiny objects came about since then, right? The one that Jake talks about, X28 Shogun. You guys have no idea how much it's going to burn. You guys have no idea what's going to happen soon. You guys have no idea what's coming. This is part of the big story right now. X28 and then Shogun together. All right, let's take a look at this buy and burn. I wonder how often it's triggered. 2 days ago, it was triggered. And this is this can be called for 800 million Titanx is callable every 15 minutes. All right. Why hasn't it been called? That's why no one's called it in 2 days. $17 in gas, almost $18 in gas for a $2.10 Titanx reward. Sorry. That's why it hasn't been called in 2 days, 3 days, or anything like that. What in the world? Freaking gas fees, right? Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. I mean, I've seen some haven't been called in like a few hours. This was like 2 days. That's really unprofitable. Jeez. All the protocols in Inferno are now long-term plays that actually don't want more people to dilute. Example, Blaze Stakes. Well, I don't know how they're gonna do well as far if you guys don't want new users to not get diluted, then you're not gonna get new players and get price appreciation on the tokens. And if that works out for you, awesome. That's pretty cool. But back to X28. I don't know what's going on here. It seems to have slowed down. Shogun was supposed to be like the dynamic jewel here, built on X28. From what I know from Shogun, I said it yesterday, if you have 10 billion staked, you got to match 10 billion liquid, get the Shogun token or something like that. I don't know. See what's going on with the stats. Yeah. No, maybe a lot of people are not ARBing right now because the buy and burn's not growing. The buy and burn is definitely not growing. I heard everyone saying you have no idea how much Titanx is going to burn, and I was like, yeah, dude, I agree. You have no idea how much Titanx is going to be burned because this is great. Doesn't look like much people are using it right now, but definitely the buy and burn is not being called because of this reason right here. It's not enough Titanx to reward the user to do it. Weird. Yeah, since they are deflationary, you let the protocols burn away the token and wait for Titanx to resurge, so your ownership is larger liquidity pool. Yeah, if you're looking to ride the coattails of Titanx, I don't think that's a good thing, to be honest with you. Like, I think everyone misinterprets Hart's law. Hart's law has been in effect for years because everything is heavily bonded to Bitcoin. But you need users to actually grow. Unless you're like PTGC, where like it doesn't need users, then maybe then that's the setup you have. I'm not sure. I think people will jump into X28 when it's actually on another chain. Possibly. We need more users to X28 to burn. Yeah, we need more users, period. Right? Like, point blank, we need more users, period. End of story. I've been saying that, and every time I say it, I go and like I'm watching a stream with like Jake and other people, and they're like, "Yeah, we got this many new wallets and this many new users, and we're looking good." And I'm like, "I don't see that. I don't see it." But maybe it's like a hidden stat that I'm not aware of. Like, look at the volume here on people actually buying. We don't know which ones are the smart contract, but you're on Ethereum. There's just this meme token right here, right? There's this meme token right here that's just people will buy it. You'll see this one is junk. You have this one, people will buy it. It's getting a little bit of volume. It's junk. Then you got like the ones that are really popular too, like Mars. People will buy it. It's junk. So people will buy tokens just because during a bull market. But I think right now, like if you look across the board, this one is the one that has the most volume. 32.4 million shrub token, whatever it is. Damn. So people don't mind trading this token right now. So a lot of memes that have slow volume like Titanx right now that we just saw, other than the exception of Shrub. This is like, this is not enough buying right here. This doesn't show me a lot of new users that are excited to buy this dip. I'm excited to buy it. And that hey, I'm excited to buy that. I just wish there was a lot more people that were. Then we'd be like, all right, this is cool. We're on to something, but yeah, they got to do a better job trying to onboard. I make Titanx content every day, and I got to maybe structure it for new users to let them know why this could be the promised land, or maybe they are looking at it and it's just not for them. I don't know. Just wait. Next month we'll rotate money to Titanx X28. Yeah, yeah. We don't know what's coming, like they say, huh? I just want the gas fees to be lower. Then I'm gonna if the gas fees make sense, I'm gonna trigger those buy and burns nonstop. X28 gives a first mover advantage to layer 0 and going multi-chain. It gives a lot of flexibility in pivoting Titanx to different chains. I've been using layer 0 for a long time. I got their gnarly airdrops, like thousands of dollars of airdrops too. It was nice. Multiple wallets. New users come when we jump on other chains. They could. I think the majority of users that are on other chains like Solana, they're all after meme tokens. To be honest with you, like the core utility tokens are on Ethereum, but when you see all that volume on Solana, even Base, it's meme tokens, and I would consider Titanx like a utility. So unfortunately, in the crypto space, people don't care about utility. They want to buy the next Pepe. Maybe we could have marketed it that way. I don't know. But in the end, it shouldn't matter. As long as we can trigger those buy and burns, there's enough Ethereum in all of them to burn the living daylights out of everything here, especially with this slow burn. But yeah, there's a lot of liquid Titanx. We're seeing everything unfold in real time. So every day is going to paint a story. The charts and everything, like I'm not looking at RSI. I'm not looking at what the price could go down to. I'm not looking at any of that. I'm looking at the traffic, the volume. And I'm going on and looking what right now while things are peaking it has volume and what's doing good and what the market caps are. I'm more interested in that kind of stuff, you know. I don't chart much. Don't really care to be honest. We have meme tokens in Titanx. It will be used to port them on smaller gas fees. Yeah, we don't have a true meme token though. They call it memefied. Like Inferno is it's a meme token, right? But it's not like your Pepe. It's not. We can't call it. It's not peanut. It's none of that. I don't want to be negative, but I'm not going to sit here and say that we have meme tokens in Titanx. We don't. These are not memes, bro. You want to see a meme token? You want to see what a meme token does? A meme token is your friend at work who knows nothing about Titanx, has a Solana wallet, and he's buying it, right? Those are the real meme tokens with the true value. Not even like the stuff that's on Pulse Chain like Teddy Bear can compare, right? Freaking Peanut over here. This is a damn meme token. This is the real deal Holyfield. These ones right here that just take off. You'll see they're all listed here. They're annoying, life-changing money, cash grab tokens that will have no use case, no buy and burn. But that's the market, and that's the world we live in. What could you do? Let's see. Who do we have here? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I think somebody said the same thing. Laugh out loud. Titanx memes are not memes. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. Some baby dragon, some love. Talk about it. I'm supposed to do an interview with him. My camera's not working. StreamYard's not working with the camera. I got problems. I need to email them. He seems busy, and then I'm like, camera issues. So I don't know if I'm going to have that interview this week. It was supposed to be for today, unless he wants to come on here and talk with me while I'm just a voice. Then that'd be cool. But this was my question yesterday. I said, while the gas fees of ETH is so high and will be higher in the next months during the bull run, no one will click the buy and burn the Titanx ecosystem. Yeah, no one seems to be really doing it right now. We just looked at a prime example of X28. Even if X28 gets more and more, ain't nobody calling it. Nobody's called the X28 buy and burn smart contract for 2 effing days because it's expensive, right? Let's take a look at Lotus again. We looked at it earlier. Accumulated 9 periods. No one's calling the buy and burn in 9 periods. Just accumulating. We can go back and look, see if Morpheus, somebody finally called it, but it right now gas fees are really high, so I doubt it. Right, this could be called every 30 minutes, accumulated 9, but it's accumulating, so it'll stack up and be called. Like with Hydra and Titanx and X28, they're not stacking. They're either triggered or not triggered, I believe. I don't know if that could be changed. I wonder. I don't know. So there could be a solution for that because the gas fees aren't going to get any cheaper. I'll tell you that right now. Gas fees will not get any cheaper for you. So it's going to be interesting to see, what in the world takes place here. I'm just like, I'm watching everything unfold. I'm in that unknown territory. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm watching it in real time with you, and I'm hoping that there's like a solution because as that slows down, right? We stop shrinking our supply, and I don't know how long that battle could last to stretch it out to even what if it like we miss the bull market because of that. I don't know. The bull market could come and go. But what I mean is like participation is obviously going to be low on protocols with high gas fee. People are starting to realize the prices are going down. Like I went into Viper. You got ultra wrecked yesterday if you went into Viper because of the price going down. Where you could have just sat ETH, took a big hit there on just one wallet. Sold out of it at a loss, sent it away. I was like, I'm done with that for now. I'm more comfortable holding my liquid Titanx and DragonX and my bigger wallets for now. Is more uncomfortable participating in everything right now, other than making Hydra miners and Hydra miners. is really like, and Hyper is really the only risk I'm taking right now in the system. Other than that, I'm just gonna sit back and watch everything play out. But I think we're watching this happen. And I don't know. I'm not seeing anybody with an answer yet from like the higher ups, what you would say. But you know, it just I don't know. Ugh. You know what we all want from this? We want new users. We want cheap gas fees. We want, I think when we were thinking we don't have enough Titanx, we were forgetting we don't have enough Ethereum too. Because if we had enough Ethereum, we could just call these functions and be all good. But if you're going to take a loss, can't be doing that all day. So that's why I was like, hey, people, go out there and start telling, throwing the idea to Jake, like, hey, Jake, Genesis Wallet, do you know that guy? Maybe you can get him to pay it once an hour because the users aren't doing it, right? So the machines are controlled by us. They're not immutable. They're not immutable as spenders. They're immutable smart contracts, some of them, like on Vault and Viper, but they're not immutable spenders. They don't have their own ETH to do this stuff. Okay. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. What do we do? What do we do? That post, not clarity. It's hard. Even if gas fees go down, there are more calls. It doesn't mean that it equates to new users. Meanwhile, in Zenland, what's going on with Zen? What's going on with Zen? I'll tell you what's going on with Zen. I'm just sitting on a liquid pile of tokens across a bunch of chains. Is this a Zen on Ethereum? No, that's a Tropa Zen, the OG Zen. Where do I have Zen? Where is Zen? I don't think I have that on my watch list. 54%, huh? Yeah, all right. That makes me a little happy. X1 seems to be imminent, is what they say. Funny how the tables turn, huh? Low liquidity. Ain't enough liquidity in this thing for all of us to get out. Wrecked. That tells me right there that we are all going to be forced to burn for X1 because we are not going to all fit out the door to cash that out. I'll tell you right now. Look at Morpheus. Morpheus is like, I'm going to go on a run and I'm going to give you a bitching ratio when it comes to Dragon X. That's a beautiful thing right there. Look at that. LP's low, so if somebody spoils the fun, goes right back down. But that's a good ratio. A Lotus, they just did their airdrop, right? And they're gonna be swapping to Eden. So maybe it's good to buy a bunch of this for Eden. I don't know. I think I'm still blocked by Rain Man. I think I am. Jack cooking hard with X1. I think he plugs into the soul hype and actually gets serious bid for the chain. Yeah, Jack's the most innovative builders out there in this space. You can't write him off because of the Zen price. I think he made it very clear how inflation works, made it very clear with the amps and what your expectations could be is obviously when inflation slows down. So, that's happened. Gas fees are high. You can't even claim your Zen mint. So, like, the minting of Zen is like non-existent. So when you do the ultimate burn for Zen, that's when you burn for X1. That's going to accelerate the price if you decide to hold it and not convert over. But there's not really much cash to flow out too, if that makes sense. But anyways, that's enough for today's rant. Again, guys, hopefully we get some, cheaper gas fees. As we talk amongst each other here, I'm not sure if I know what the solution would be other than hoping and praying that gas fees do go down. If you guys want to go to my tweet from yesterday, right? Let me pull it up here and like and retweet and tag Jake trying to get him on R2R to ask, the tough questions, some of the things that I don't think it's fun. I think with Jake, he thinks like he wants to shut out negative energy, right? So if it's not positive, like if I'm not going to sit there and kiss his tail and say you're the greatest thing and not look at anything that might not be considered fully bullish, he doesn't want to be a part of it. I understand it, but the way I look at it, it's like if you ever had a sports injury, are you just going to be like, I'm not going to pay attention to that? It's negative. I don't need that in my life. Or are you going to go get it fixed, get a first, second, and third opinion, and start to rehabilitate yourself? I think it's good to address the good and the bad as a founder to your people, so that we're like, okay, gas is high, buy and burn. Let's hear what you have to say, and then it will just like make people feel better. You know what I mean? Like right now, what really needs to happen, and people have been really wanting with Pulse Chain, is Richard Hart to stream. Whatever reason, they want just to hear his voice. They don't even need him to come out and say why Pulse Chain and Hex is the best and why, what he's going to do with the SAC funds. They just want to hear him talk at this point. That's how much of a Richard Hart drought it's been. Now, for Jake, on the other hand, he has it in his power that he's still streaming. You can come on and talk with someone like me that's going to point out some of the things that no one is asking him and just address it, right? I think it's reasonable to believe that no matter how tough of a question I ask, as long as he has an answer, people are going to be like, oh, okay, I feel better. That's what, he has spoken. We know. And then you can address it. Because it doesn't need to be like a big argument where I'm like, no, that's not going to. It's like, no, I just want to hear what you have to say. Because I'm thinking, this person's thinking, all we're doing is speculating, run around with chickens without a head. And we might not understand that there's a simple answer to it. And it would put people at ease. And that might be the difference between somebody right now who's like a little scared and they got a few, they might have $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 liquid ETH or even in a stable token and go, oh, okay, I feel better. Let me grab that dip. Right? So it's like taking, like Biggie says it the best. I'll say this message to Jake, who doesn't like the negative energy. Turn a negative into a positive, right? Turn a negative into a positive. That's all. Those are the questions I'm going to ask you. Those are the things I'm going to ask of you. Is things that I feel that if you could word it better than I could, address it, then we can turn that negative into a positive, and things just are gravy, all good, right? So that's my message to him. How did you come up with the idea to sell most of your crypto in March 2025 and thinking maybe September, December 2025 will be the top? Just timing the markets and what they've done and what period and what cycle we're in. If you go look at all the cycles of when they began and ended, that's your answer. All right. We technically, Bitcoin started going in a bullish zone of whatever you want to call it, bullish momentum, since it hit the bottom, below 20K. I think it was like $18,000, $16,000, $17,000. And it's worked its way all the way to 90,000 this entire time. Now, because of the entire market didn't go crazy and start to go up, doesn't mean that we haven't been trending for several months up. And we will hit a peak and bounce off the top fast and go into a bear market. Happens quick. So we've been trending up for a while. We've been recovering for a while. We just hit all-time highs, hit our head on the roof, as you can see here, bounced down. The next thing I would imagine is trading sideways before we have a big move. If not, we already made that big move, and we will be able to look back and say, oh, it was there the whole time. We made our way up from below $20,000 and we hit all the way to 93, 95,000, whatever it was. There was your bull market. That's what they'll say. Or it bounced, goes to 150 and storms down 75, 95% like cryptocurrencies do, which I think it'll be like a 75% correction from the top, whatever it hits with Bitcoin. That could happen March 2025, I believe. I believe that it will. We shall see. Maybe it's this super cycle people talk about. I don't know. These are the unknown things. I don't know. But don't forget to smash the like button, drop a comment. Till next time, we'll do it again. Yeah, dog.
Lady of the faucet, let's get it.
It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, back to riches. It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, back to riches. It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, back to riches. It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, back to riches. Got my call from the R2R. Farmers going up, Brody, check the chart. In the loots, buying all these plots. Thomas G and Mike got the chat on lock. When a drip and pulls, got these dogs and pigeons from me, I'm ready to score. Got me a bag of the rich and hard, I think I need more. Group got me in the wave, now I'm swimming the shore. I'm up to the core. It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, back to riches. It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, just back to riches. It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches, back to riches. It's R2R, it's R2R. Back to riches.